joining us here in studio, a big-time Philadelphia Eagles fan. Excited for a 200th episode of his long-running hit show Bones on Fox, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. David Boreanaz, good to see you here in the flesh, sir.
Thank you for having me in this lovely arena.
Anytime. and because I've known you for a while. You were on the NFL Network, part of our Hollywood Fantasy League back in the day.
Yeah.
You meant business back then.
I still mean business.
I mean, you came in strong. You came in strong.
The heat.
Garland was there, right? Jaleel White was there, and Garland kept calling him Urkel. Oh, remember that? Remember
it was tough. The heat I got from Garland was hot. And I would see him at the gym like 3 years later, and he would still throw down the gauntlet on me.
Yeah,
even though fantasy's cutthroat. It's a little aggressive.
Are you in any of your playoffs? Because I know
I am. We're top seeded in I'm top seeded in my one league that I've been doing for many years, which is kind of like that one personal league that everyone's been doing since the beginning of time, pretty much since the inception of fantasy football.
Now you said we. Is that a royal we, or is that who are you with?
My friend David Semmel.
Okay.
Another great director out here anyway. So we're known as the 42 Double Ds. That would be our name.
Yes, you are.
Yes, we are. Strong and
well,
proud.
because there's two D-named guys who are running the team.
And 42 is my favorite number.
Okay.
24 backwards.
Honestly, don't know what else you'd be referring to.
Serious.
David?
Come on.
I mean,
my
seriously.
wideouts, Brandon Marshall. Well, he's out, though. See that? I'm in the NFL league, and we lost Marshall. He's out now.
Yes,
so
he is for the rest of the
now
season.
We're vulnerable.
You're vulnerable.
Going into the playoffs, the NFL Network.
So you're going.
So we got Tony Romo as our quarterback.
Right.
So right now we lost Marshall. So it's Jason Witten tight end.
So you're in the Fabiano Commissionered League in the NFL Network.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, and then we're known as the Boreanaz Boys in that league.
The Boreanaz Boys. I like it.
Yes.
David Boreanaz of Bones, who, by the way, is directing the 200th episode of the show. Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. What is it like watching your favorite team on your network, and it's going south in the game, and then the commercial break hits, and it's for your show, and a commercial of you on it? What is that emotionally like for you? What is that roller coaster like, David?
It actually was pretty good because it was only 17. I think we were down by 3 at one point, so it was actually good. A lot of people were watching.
Yes.
So I got a lot of eyes on that promo. That lasted
go.
30 seconds. It was pretty nice.
Yeah.
So was happy about that. But then when the game started to go south, the channels might have been changing. So
at that point in time, you wanted a closer game for the promotional value of your show.
Yeah.
And also a comeback for your team. So it's sort of all matched. Your allegiances matched at that point in time.
All meshed somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough when you see the Eagles kind of self-destruct slowly the way they did yesterday.
Yeah, and I know what your emotional state was because, at David_Boreanaz, you were live tweeting your dismay. And we pulled a few of the tweets. Sanchez has been in his head all game at Eagles can't win like this. That was a bad call by the refs. Hashtag horrible flag.
That was Fletcher's pass interference call, correct?
I think so. He couldn't turn, but I just don't call that when he hugged him and took him down.
Yeah.
I don't know about that pass interference.
Let the Foles talk start with Dallas coming to town. Now, I don't know if he's going to be ready for that.
I don't think
he is. In all
seriousness,
if let's say the bones have healed, to use that phrase.
I like that.
And
the 206 bones have healed. In the human body, there's 206.
So it would be perfect if he comes back 6 episodes from now, but that would be too late for the season in terms of the National Football League.
But let's just think now, though.
Let's think right here and now.
Okay,
would you swap him in for Sanchez in this big game? Would you go ahead and do that?
Without a doubt, yeah. Without a doubt.
Why?
Because I think he's just more of a mental game. He's a better approach at the game than Sanchez is. Look, we talked a little bit about this. Chip Kelly's system is the system of football it's a whole, it's a wheel, it's a clog. And I think the way he's designed this wheel in the NFL is like his whole system is the Aaron Rodgers of football, right? If he has the right guys plugged in and everything's clicking, they're an unstoppable team. Their defense is playing much better with Bill Davis. Obviously, they have holes in the back, with the defensive backs with Kerry Williams and Nate Allen, I think. But I think where Foles is at the beginning, sure, he had some picks and some turnovers, but I would go with Nick Foles only because Sanchez, granted, he's putting the ball where he needs to, but he's also making the mistakes. And the mental thing is with Sanchez, he has a problem of kind of turning into a crab. He goes inwards, puts the pressure on himself, and he makes these bad mistakes. Hence that one turnover in the fourth quarter that was pretty costly for us.
Now, when you say it's like the Aaron Rodgers of football, you're talking about creating one unit that is just as good as the individual Aaron Rodgers, what you mean by
Right.
that.
I mean, I think the quarterback position in Philadelphia is someone who is serviceable to the system, meaning they know how to hit the big receiver down the field, knows how to use the tight end, has a great running game behind him, knows how to set up the screen, knows how to manage the game, knows how to push. It's the tempo. And look, lots of talk about where would the quarterback future be for Philadelphia right now. I mean, if you, let's say you plugged in, RG3, took him out of Washington. Chip Kelly would love to have RG3. If you really stop to think about the athlete, right, itself, at the quarterback position.
Correct.
In the right system. I mean, you took RG3 out of that system in Washington, put him in healthy in Philadelphia. Do you think he'd be better at where he is right now?
You know what? The idea that Chip Kelly is creating, and we talked about it on the show last week, is it's a quarterback replaceable system, fungible. You take somebody. It's been run well by Vic, Foles, and Sanchez. Now we've seen that, and that this way will allow you also to spend your salary cap dollars elsewhere, beef up this the secondary that you need that needs beefing up. And then the receivers don't need to be paid all that much money either, because we've seen the receivers come and go in the system as well. Having a Rolls-Royce running back would be helpful, and they have one in LaShawn McCoy. You pay him. Defensively, you can pay these guys as well. The question is, though, can you actually win a Super Bowl this way, David Boreanaz? Can you go ahead and take this system to the biggest game of all and maybe face Brady or Manning or these types of quarterbacks on the other side who do make the big bucks and win a big game? Can that happen?
Yes, I do. I think you can do it. I think if everyone's running at the full system, why not? I mean, you're basically running a Ferrari at top speed. I mean, you really think about it. I mean, the quarterback, whoever that would be, is manageable and serviceable and a great athlete who can get the ball out, knows how to place it. Look, Foles, before last year started, he was so accurate, didn't have any turnovers. All of a sudden, at the beginning of the year, people watch tape on him. He's throwing INTs all over the place, and he's making poor decisions. But Foles is also putting the ball in a position where somewhat the receiver can get it, over where Sanchez just makes the errant bad move.
Would you be saying
mental move?
If we were talking the day after Thanksgiving, would you be saying this about Sanchez?
I would, because look at Green Bay. Look at the Green Bay game. To me, was the big kind of wake up. Like, that was the game. You go to winning in Lambeau is really hard. But I think when we come out of the Green Bay game, we look at Philadelphia as a whole, where they stand right now. We can see that they're not better than Green Bay. They're not better than Seattle. Obviously, that was proven. But Seattle's defense is pretty smashingly unbelievable.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
really are back, and they made a statement game yesterday to everybody, even before the Bones promo came on, that this defense is back. And it was pretty hot. I mean, Richard Sherman was taunting the Philadelphia crowd, which I don't think is really the wisest thing to do. He can do it to Crabtree, but I don't think it's a smart thing to do.
Well, he survived it.
But you know what? If you manage the system right, and that's why I love these players like Zach Ertz, and I love Huff, and I love the receiver they got in Marshall. They're big receivers downfield, which I think, and look at the special teams. I mean, Philly's got the pieces. They just don't have all of the pieces.
Yeah, Jordan Matthews has done very well, certainly since Sanchez has taken over. David Boreanaz, Thursday, 8 Eastern Time, the 200th episode of Bones. 200 is no joke, David. I don't know how many shows off the top of my head have hit that number, but your show, Bones, has. What about this episode that is, and you're directing it as well?
Yeah, it was quite a journey. When we started the prep on it at the beginning of the season, they allowed me to do the 200th episode, and I'm really proud of it. It takes place in 1954. It's kind of like a throwback to a Hitchcockian type of environment. And, I play the jewel thief. Emily takes on the role of the wannabe detective, run by the chief officer, Ryan O'Neal, who runs the police department. So
Ryan O'Neal.
he was classic, and so all of the elements were kind of, all the characters were just playing different roles, but part of that clog again, So it was interesting to do that. We shot. It took us 14 days to shoot this episode. Usually it takes 8 days.
Yeah.
It was big. It was a big episode.
Well, it's 200.
Yeah, so it was a little throwback to Catch a Thief or North by Northwest. Had that Hitchcockian vibe going on, and it's a lot of fun. Thrill ride with a lot of big fight in DC-3. We shot out here in Aqua Dulce Airport. This big, huge prop plane was fantastic. We shot at clubs. Old time 1954, and I think coming out of it, what was great about it was how simple it was back in '54. Who
Yeah.
won the Super Bowl in 1954?
Brockman?
There
There was no
there
Super Bowl,
wasn't
but
one.
what was the championship
Is that the last
game?
time the Browns won? No, that's not right.
That sounds right around there, when Otto Graham and his unitard was crushing it.
There was no Super Bowl in 1954.
No. Super Bowl 50 is coming up next year, so that's
Really?
yeah, the big
Let's
Super Bowl 50. Listen, David, congrats on
it
200.
was the Browns, 56-10 over Detroit.
Well done. And Chris
Wow,
Law's
that
handing
was
me
a nice
piece
poll.
of paper right now. There
Nice
we go. Other shows. Thank you, Chris Law. Who have 200 episodes.
Wow.
Friends, Andy Griffith, Happy Days, MASH,
Wow.
The Jeffersons.
Cool. Moving on up.
Indeed.
Like the Eagles.
Cheers.
You got to
Cheers.
crack the 300. Knots Landing had 344 episodes of
That's
Knots Landing.
crazy. Knots Landing?
No kidding.
There's
They
not
must
very
have
many,
been.
though. I mean, there's 20 on this list that I gave you. There's-
Jag of 227. And
Wow.
CSI Miami, our good friend Caruso.
Not
we
bad.
We got to get him in this.
You got to get him back with the glasses. Pull it off.
Well, I think what he did, he put them on.
Yeah, it
that
was the on.
the touch,
It was-
David.
it was-
It wasn't the how. It was. It was the saying the line and then putting them on and being left with the glasses. That was the next level Caruso touch. in my
Yeah, that was
mind.
pretty. Yeah, that was it. That was. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
so many people just take them off and to deliver the line. It's putting them on.
I
The way to do it.
my glasses.
You wish you had
I
your
wish I had
glasses.
my glasses now. Now I'm like intrigued by the whole thing.
Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 200th episode of Bones. Good luck to you and your Eagles and your
Thank
42
you.
double Ds. I've never said
You know
that
what?
to another
I
man.
would tell you what. Big
Yeah.
game coming up against Dallas. Big
Yep.
game in Philadelphia. We'll
Yep.
see what happens.
Yeah.
Huge
Good
game.
luck to you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck to you. David Boreanaz here on The Rich Eisen Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.